Psychic Medium Debbie Romero here. Look who is here in person. Girl, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, it's Ericka Neva. I am an evidential medium, psychic. I am also an intuitive reader, oracle reader, and so much more.
Oh, and so much more. And we have the honor and privilege to come together for Community and Spirit live, right? We're here live together. We got our witchy shirts on. Check it out, Hottest Witch Alive. And what better way to do this during the month of October? We're going to dive in today together on the energies of October. Ooh! What do you think, Ericka? Energies of October.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like a lot of people think it's very witchy, right? So much witchy activity, but what does it really mean?
Girl, I had to go in and research this because there's so much that happens. I know you have something that you're gonna go through and you're gonna that we researched. So you're gonna get a little bit of what's on the media, and then you're gonna hear what we do as witches. We're just using the words now. Don't get scared. Don't leave the podcast, y'all. If this podcast fan you, don't go nowhere. Let's see. Let's dive in. Okay, girl. So I Googled the month of October, right? And so obviously the 31st is Hallows Eve, okay? An ancient Celtic festival in Ireland, which marked the end of summer harvest and the beginning of winter. So the Celts believed that the veil between the living and those that passed were at the thinnest of time. So as a medium, do you feel the energy shifted where the veil is thinner?
I would say yes, but I think for the most part, it's a tiny shift.
Okay, y'all. It's a tiny shift. A tiny shift. Okay.
But yes, it's one could say like you start seeing a little bit more things, I guess more activity.
Right. So that goes to what's in the atmosphere. It says its focus is on spooky, scary, mischievous, historically about warding off evil spirits. So that's the atmosphere's energy, right? And traditions, we go trick-or-treating, we wear scary costumes, the jack-o'-lantern, haunted houses, and parties. And then there's a symbol for it, girl. So the symbolism is ghosts, witches, monsters, the color black and orange colors, images of fear and masquerades, like, okay, all right. And the view of it is it often portrays death as something to be feared or treated with lighthearted fright and fantasy. That's pretty deep, right?
It is. It is. You know what's interesting is, and obviously, a lot of people like to dress. It's like an alter ego thing, right?
Ooh.
So they start dressing in what they're like. Oh, I'm going to be this tonight, right? Some stuff may be a little bit revealing, which they're
Okay.
normally not like that. But it's truly is about having fun, right? And so I think as a child, you looked forward to it because there was treats involved, and I feel like as an adult, it's like hanging out with your friends again, right?
Right. So it's all about the imagination, right? Is what you're saying. It's like, what are you tapping into that you're like, ooh, let's bring in that fun, let's bring in that joy, let's bring in that I want to say, as Erica said, the alter ego, when you say some of us, our clothes are part of our image, our personality, our characteristics, and the colors we choose, all of that plays a factor. And then all of a sudden the attitude comes with it, right? So how about you?
Personality, right?
Personality. So
Yeah.
absolutely. So when we're looking at Halloween and we're looking at the time of the they say the veil is thinning, but it's also about different perspectives when it comes to what is darker energies and what is light. And we're all looking for our ancestors, our loved ones, which now I'm going to bring to the Day of the Dead, right? So we also celebrate that, and we were going through the different ways of honoring the energies. And Erica has this, and so she's going to break down the idea of what happens, or not the idea, but what one does in honor of those who have passed before us. Go ahead.
Yes, and you know what I think is really cool is like Target's involved, and a lot of the the retail stores they
Yeah.
have Day of the Dead altars that you could buy, and it's very miniature. It's like a good way to get started and obviously grow from there. But so as of October 27th, that's when your pets arrived.
Oh.
So yes, so you want to put out their collar, their favorite toy, their treats, the things that they would have loved. And what's really cool, Debbie, is I see reels on TikTok. I'm like, TikTok, I get all my news and all my information, but it's really cool when they lay out like dust of flour, and then all of a sudden the next day they see the paw print.
Right. So then, what comes to mind with me is like, if it was a cat, if it was their bed, if you still have their beddings or their favorite blanket, this is an opportunity to create the sacred space for your pets. For those that have ranches, that have horses, or, I want to say even dolphins, those who are managing the marine life, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, what was their favorite toy? What was their memory? If you don't have their belongings, just pause for the moment to bring closer that energy with that gentle thought of that connection you had together, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be their physical item, because I know I've had pets when I was a child, and I don't have their collar anymore, right? So what is that? It's even buying, the stuffed animal that reminds you of them, or the photo that, it looks exactly like my Fluffy, It's like things like that, or even trinkets that remind you of them, so that you could put on the altar in their memory.
It kind of reminded me of Christmas. Ericka was like, put a little flower on the floor, so it's kind of like you can see their paw prints for the doggies or the kitties. They could see, did they come? Was their footsteps? Like, ask Spirit to give you the sign, the symbolic sign. Put some wind chimes out there to get the chimes to move the bells, right?
Yes,
wouldn't that be cool?
Yes, that is.
So what day again, Ericka, is that?
So the first day is October 27th, and that's in honoring of the pets.
Okay, so the 27th, honoring first those that walk the path, the fur babies, the fur animals in spirit. Okay, Ericka, what's the next one?
So it looks like October 28th is when you honor the loose souls, right? Oh, I'm sorry, the lone souls is what it's called. So you place the first candle, and just like you would the altar for the pets, you start adding those photos, right? So it's the lone souls. How would you describe?
So are you wanting to say like almost like a lost soul, right? Is it?
Because it keeps on coming up. So it's more like lost, but instead of using the word lost, I want to say lone, right? Because it sounds nicer.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we don't want to. As humans, we don't want to believe that our family member is lost, right? But to your
belief system,
correct. And the way you explained it before, and I love that, was even after passing, you're healing. So you're not so much lost, they're going through the healing process, right? So it's important to understand that our loved ones are not lost necessarily. It's truly going through the steps and the process of healing.
Do you know what Spirit is showing me right now, Ericka? They're showing me a visual of the movie Coco. Remember Me.
Yeah.
And when we're forgotten and we were like, man, I knew my Theo was thinking of me, but for me, it's my mom and my grandma are like, we have our favorites. No, we're not, spirit is spirit, but we have our favorites, right? My mom is my spirit, like my first to go to, right? Yeah. So it's not that it's not that they're lost in our mind, but it's also keeping the spirit alive and honoring them and remembering them. So Spirit also gave me that imagery of souls that are lost. For me, is those who have passed or have been needing that extra healing, where we say homebound spirits, right? So homebound spirits also come to mind where let's say a little more tender loving needs to be given, or let's say tragic passing, someone didn't get to say goodbye, they're here helping and holding space for you if you believe, and they're elevating you as their loved one. I had someone say to me, so-and-so wants to stay with you because they want to help you because they like what you do, and so then they kind of like work with you as a spirit helper, So I love that. So when we're honoring them, light a candle. What does it say?
So so on the 28th, it's the first candle is lit. So there will be different candles throughout the days, and then you place white flowers as well. So and I love that you said that, Debbie, because it also reminds me of the movie Coco, where that one it was the grandfather, right? They didn't want to talk about him. He wasn't allowed to put his photo, and his face was ripped out of the picture. And let's be real, we do have those family members in the family song, we're like, no, don't
Yeah.
talk about so and so, right?
No, digas nada de eso. We don't speak of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's truly, as humans, us forgiving as well, and being able to truly honor our ancestors regardless of the circumstances. And of course, if it feels right, you don't
Right.
just do it just because, hey, it's what we're told to do. But it's truly, if you've done the healing and you feel called to, then
Right.
definitely do it.
And that spirit that, as mediums, we've been able to fill into those offerings, and so they are felt. And so really trust what calls to your soul. What's the next? And so wait, again, was a white candle, just to confirm, on day 28.
On the 28th,
28th
yes.
now. We're on
First-
day I feel like Christmas, but I know we're in October.
Yep.
So day 28,
First white candle,
first
and then
white candle
white flowers.
and white flowers. Okay.
Because think about it, your altar is already going to be set up with the orange flowers. You could even have your photos already up. It's just the process and the steps as they come in per day.
Perfect. So it's say a little prayer. And if you don't have an altar, just even lighting a gentle white candle is enough for that thought to thought connection. Great job, Ericka.
Correct. So now we go to October 29th. So you light a second candle, and this time you place a cup of water. So
Okay.
this is it's dedicated to deceased, forgotten, and helpless.
Oh, and so if we're looking at helpless, there's so many different circumstances when you say that. To me, what comes to mind also is the healing that we do when we come together, when there's prayer, remembrance, because sometimes, death is sad, it's hard, but we also forget that there were also good memories. So, also give that enlightenment of the joy. So when you're paused in those moments, we're like, I wish I could have been there, or the shouldas, the could have, the would haves. And so now it's like, wait a minute, before those moments happened, what were wow, remember when we did this? And I feel like I want to go back to kids, like inner child, like skating and skateboarding or being at the ocean. So remembering the good stuff. And so, Jesse, our friend, had a beautiful candle in a vase, and we had said together, add water to it. So if you're putting water for your loved one in honor of them to commune, to give life, what would you suggest, Ericka? Like, when I know you have families that have your own, would you like to share with us with the water, what you do?
Yeah, it's very interesting because my family's beliefs is this: when your loved one is passing over, you light the candle for the light to help guide them, and then the water is to help them during their long journey. So it's ensuring that they don't go without thirst, and they're able to commute during that path to the next step.
Beautiful. And then, they show me the little flower in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay.
So then now we go to October 30th.
Dun, dun, dun. We're almost there, y'all. Go ahead.
So October 30th is so you light a new candle, and then another glass of water is placed, and white bread is placed as well. So these are for the deceased who left without eating, or those who had an accident. So it's really cool because I feel like the altar, yes, these are steps, and we'll get through the whole thing, but definitely honoring your ancestors. Like, what did your uncle like? Was your uncle a tequila drinker? Let's put a shot of tequila out there for them. Tobacco, let's put it on the altar. It's like you definitely want to give them their favorite items that they enjoy, and truly honoring that as well.
Do you know what comes to mind for me? I love Santa Nino de Atocha, and he was known as a pilgrim who helped those who were imprisoned, and they believed to see this little baby boy come in and feed them the bread and gave them the clothing. And so when you mentioned that was a saint that came to mind for me also, and remembering, maybe even add a little Santa Nino prayer or a little addition to whatever is called to your spirit. So, oh my gosh, it's like really opening the doors to the energies to continue to bring that support and help, right?
Yes,
I
I love that because, like, my grandma, she loved her santos, right? So just recently on her I decorate her gravestone, but I got a Virgin Mary because I knew that's what she loved. So like things like that. And the really cool part is, if you, I don't know, let's say you have pets and you can't really have bread on your altar.
Right.
Back to Target and those places, and even online, TikTok shop, you name it. They have them where they're little trinkets. So it's truly resembles the real thing, but it's in a smaller form. So then you don't have to worry about those things happening. But truly follow your heart, whatever you're guided to do, whether it's that route or whether it's physically having the product there, it's up to you. There's no wrong way to honor your ancestors.
Right. Okay. What's the next day?
So we did that. Oh, so October 31st.
Halloween. Yeah. We got a Halloween shirt and our hat.
Yes.
We are styling today.
So then this is where you do another glass of water. And let me start right there really quick before I read the rest. But keep in mind, you're going to see throughout the days, the water will disappear. It will start going down. It truly will vanish, sometimes quicker than others. I've seen that happen in my altars. So don't be afraid if that starts happening. It's truly an essence of your ancestors, your family members coming in and showing you
respect and gratitude, right?
Yes.
Gratitude. And there's also healing with the water, with the rooms. There's a purification that comes with that also. I was taught to put water not only to take the worries, but also for the cleanse and for spirit to commune. So there's water is so powerful. Such a great gift to work with. Okay.
So you do another glass of water and then you do another piece of bread. It doesn't have to be necessarily a white bread. It could be a concha.
I thought concha, girl. I was like, oh, but I literally saw the kids. Well, if you put a concha out, the kids may take it, but it was there. It was a thought that counts, is what I saw, right?
So my mom loved chocolate cake, so I would put a chocolate cake for her, a little slice. Even though she would want a bigger slice, I would definitely at least put one out there for her. So you do that, and then you do a piece of fruit. So this is where the fruit comes in, right? And then this is to honor your ancestors, which are like your great grandparents, your great great grandparents, and so forth and so on. So that's what that one is for.
Beautiful. And now we go into a little bit of the November days, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Ericka.
So November 1st is definitely, I growing up, it's like, for me, it was Día de los Muertos para los niños, right? So it's Day of the Dead for the children who are no longer here. So on the 1st, it's definitely the day of what they call the little angels arrive. I know. So it's the souls of those who died as children. On this day, all the food is set at the altar, so you want to continue the candies and the little toys, and definitely truly honoring the Day of the Dead for the children, for sure.
When we're paused for the babies, right? For those children, the energies and honoring them. Listen for the giggles. Listen, feel into the fingers. Feel into that hug and that memory of that of holding the connection. I know that's so hard. That's a hard one for me. Even when I go by within the cemetery and they're still celebrated, but there's just also that tender little extra prayer you want to give. I use the guardian angel. The guardian angel. Yeah, guardian angels. There's the guardian angel candle that comes with the children, and that candle is one that I use for my babies and for my children. And so when I as time progressed, I've always used that little guardian angel. So yeah, that's pretty.
So it's really cool. So definitely don't forget, put that stuff out there. So November 2nd. So this is known as All Soul Days. This is truly Día de los Muertos. So it's all the souls. So this parents, you name it, everybody is included in this. So on this day, so it says this is the day that they all come to eat the offering. So that's the reason why you place it out day by day. And this is the day they all come in
feast.
Yes,
they
together.
Feast. It's a party. It's a celebration, right?
Yes.
So I was like, all game. It's a fair game for everything is what I heard. Spirit was, and that's from Spirit, right? Free game. We're going to do whatever we want. It's party and stuff. I feel like vamos a tomar. Yes. Okay, girl. Go ahead, girl.
And then, so this is the day that you could light copal or incense. So you're doing it, and it's the path is decorated with petals as well. It's the same flowers that we used the other day. Yes. So you definitely want to create the path, light the incense, because, and then obviously all the foods, you name it, out there. So the really cool part about this is you have like day by day to truly like add to your altar. So don't worry about getting it all at once and having it all ready. And 2 days later, if you remember, like, oh shoot, it's the 30th, and on the second they're all coming. I just remember my uncle loved pistachios. You still have time, so there is no rush. So definitely that is the day they all come together. They all come in. Don't forget to highlight the path to the altar, but definitely it's like the bang, right? The bang, the
I
celebration.
felt that. And the copal is an offering. It's an offering to not only for the home, an offering to the spirit, has a beautiful purification. The marigolds are about protection. There's a symbolic connection to the flower. It's abundant. It's beautiful. So there's purpose in what you choose and meaning. So the energies that come with the properties that you work with will also be part of your experience for your spirit, your soul. So how you choose to interact with this time, Ericka, it made me feel as we get ready as mediums, we go into what we call the power. And there's a buildup of sitting in the power. And so we truly work with the land of where we come from, the energies of that heartbeat of Mother Gaia, the earth. Then we go into the animal kingdom, which is all the animals. And then we go into, and of course, the mineral kingdom, right? Then we go into everything that's of energy, of all planes and timelines and space. So we're truly expanding to all energies of all spirit. And so that is of love, of light. And there's so many ways as we move from plane to plane, we're healing and expanding. And so it's always a progression to for you and for them. So it's a beautiful blend you may connect to from your spirit to the spirit of those that you're connecting to. There's healing, there's conversation, there's feast, food, there's ceremonial prayers, thoughts, and I wanted to say action. So this is really an opportunity for us to also change the story. So we're really celebrating from, if you looked at it, from the heartache, from the lost souls, from those that have maybe felt helpless, but also those that we grieve and we miss. But this is an opportunity, as Coco says, we must celebrate, we must have music, we must have the guitar, no grandma, no, I'm going to play my song and sing those musics and dance with my family. And so when you said, let's put the light out for them, let's truly give them that path to say, hey, look at me, I'm here, I want to say, remember that thought creates that form and moves into that action. Great job, Ericka.
I love the way you said that, because even we're obviously referencing Coco, but at the end they put their altar back up and they're all dancing, and you can see the spirits dancing with them.
Yes.
And that's truly what it reminds me of. But we're not done yet.
We're not done? Oh, shoot. I thought it was at a party. Okay, girl, let me sit back.
So
Hold on.
November 3rd, okay, you light your last candle, and then you add another, you light either the copal or the incense, but then you say your goodbyes.
Aww.
So that's when it's time to say goodbye and thank them for coming during this time, and truly allowing them to come in your home and remembering those memories again. And then once you're done with that, then you're able to then take down your altar. But if you're like me, you can leave it on all year long.
At your own will, baby.
Yes.
What I got was like an acceptance, like, oh, okay. You're truly working through the stages of the heart chakra, and you're in that state of as Ericka says, leave it up all night. Or let's close it up and say, I'm still here until next time. So great job. What a lot happening from October till November 3rd. There's a lot of energies to play with, a lot of tricks, a lot of treats, a lot of spooky. Now, as you see, we're wearing bruja, witch. We're the hottest witch alive, right? So my girl got us some sweatshirts and some fancy bougie hats. And the word term witch, I Googled today, was simply a woman in her power, right? But it's also known as, how would you describe, bruja, witch, cunadera, because we really, I feel like, yes, it's acknowledged and highlighted due October, but we also, some people choose to carry those titles. What would you say to someone who may have been fearful of the word witch?
I think you said it best when you said that title, right?
Right.
So it's truly what you make of it. And every time I hear witch, you have all these horror stories, right? The movies, society kind of creates this stigma, like,
Right.
ooh, that turns
Practical
a witch.
magic comes to mind.
But
Witch, you're a witch.
exactly,
Yeah.
right? So I think it's truly just honoring who you are and what you feel. To me, a witch is, it's, I see green thumbs, right?
Yes.
Very down to earth. Let's start growing our own herbs. Let's use it in our food. It's truly full cycle of growing, nurturing the plant, and then using it, whether it's for medicine, whether it's for your food, whether it's just to have it in the home, just to clear the space, or whether
Yeah.
it's just to have the clean oxygen in your house just because
Right.
it alleviates some of the odor. Whatever your belief systems are, I say honor it and keep doing it. At the end of the day, if you really take a step back and look at the different types of, I guess, whether it's spirituality, religion, whether it's witches, whatever you want to call it, we have so much in common. We just give things a different title.
Right. And we also give attention what's needed.
Mhm.
Spirit will lead your spirit, and what is being called to is, it could be a plant, it could be an herb. And when you were talking, Ericka, I was even being taken to the fairies. You know,
Mhm.
there's that magic of fairyland. What are they called? The little ones that they put to scare it off the bats, the gnomes, I want to say the gnomes and the fairies and the dragons, very mystical energies, but they're energies that can be tapped into all year long. Truly, you are embodying what catches your attention and what your spirit is drawn to, and how it's awakening to those energies, right? So if we're going into the unicorns and the rainbows and the mystics and the mystical energies, this is a month that is just highlighted more, a little extra. And so, like, yeah, it's okay to wear my witch hat. It's okay to put my witch dress on. Like, vamos, as you know, we're going to go celebrate today with my crystal ball and my oracle cards and my psychic cards. But keep in mind, there are people who also are like this all year long. And it's not wrong, Ericka. Like, it's not wrong. We can't downplay who we are. We can't. We gotta honor the inner bruja, or the inner brujo, or that green thumb, the healer, the kundalera, the kundalero, the people that we look to for the inner knowings, because they're always someone who's a maestro or a maestra, who's the teacher, because we're still evolving, right? Like, what would you tell someone who maybe have a little fear of the word witch?
Don't use it. Don't use it.
Don't use the word.
Don't allow that to give you an identity of what others may think that word means.
Yes.
So if someone comes to you and says that, change it. What do you want to identify? Do you even want to identify as something like that?
Right.
It's truly like saying, okay, you may think this, but this is what I truly am. It's interesting because you know how we went to the farmer's market, and just kind of putting it into a human perspective is like, there was a lady there that had all kinds of mixtures with honey, right?
Yes.
And that, to me, that would be very unearthly. And if you want to call her witch, an earthy witch, because that's what she creates. And then there's people who are selling crystals, what do you want to call them? And I thought to myself, like, so we all have that type of, I guess, I don't want to say witch.
I'm going to say magic.
There you go.
We all have magic that we share.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Down to the
girl,
lady,
yes.
Down to the lady that was creating out of seashells, right? She's truly honoring the sea by creating this beauty for people to take home with them. So it's just like me taking stuff out of my garden. She took stuff out of the sea and she's creating it. She's like, here, take the beauty with you. Take the essence of the protection of the salt from the sea, and there you go.
I also think too, we oftentimes we look at that, right? There was medicine that she gave us in the honey, and she goes, I have one, but it was mixed with eucalyptus, so it was made truly as a ingredient to help one feel better, because there's ingredients and properties that come with the honey. And I was like, okay, I'll take this, but I'm gonna wait till I get closer to the car. I'm a little sensitive, right? I want to make sure I have no allergies and things like that. But I really, we all find ways to tap into our passion. And it's not so much the inner bruja or the inner brujo. It really is, what is your passion and share that.
Mm.
So final words, Ericka, what would you like to let the community know in honor of the month of October, diving into the new beginnings of November? What would you say to the listeners at the moment?
I would say overall enjoy the harvest, right? Enjoy the transition, going into winter. What does that look like for you? And then honor your creativity regardless of what one may think. Be you.
Yes, you know what I saw, how the bonfires, we just came out of a event where the firekeeper was there. The fire, keep the fire alive, right? Honoring and celebrating around the bonfire. Share your story, share your recipes, share the history of those who truly walk the path before us, so that those can continue the traditions in the way that you wish to be remembered. Ericka Neva, where can people follow you if they want to follow more on your adventures as a psychic medium?
You could find me on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram. It's Ericka Neva or Neva Ericka. Either way, you'll see me. You could tell it's me because I do post events that I do as well. I do go live, so hope to catch you there on TikTok as well.
Tickety Talk is where it's at, y'all. Thank you so much, Ericka, for being a guest. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here in my home as my friend.
Yes.
And as we come together for community and spirit, we say, take care, y'all. Bye.